There is a lot of exotic catalysts in this game, and if you're having trouble finding these catalysts, I can promise you, we all are. Some of them just seems like they just don't ever drop. Feel free though to take a look down below in the comment section. I always pin a comment on each one of these videos that states exactly how this person got this catalyst, what they were doing, what they did afterwards to completely unlock it, and so on and so forth. So feel free to look in the comment section below. With that being said, let's talk about Merciless today, because I got to play on Bombad Boogeyman's account and actually get to mess with it. Now first, let's talk what the catalyst actually does here on Merciless. Now it substantially throws that range and stability up. Default stats for range is 45 and the default stats for stability is 39. With this catalyst, your range is now at 81 and stability now at 93. That is a huge increase. Now in terms of D1 fusion rifles, stability was just as important as range. Matter of fact, range really only affects how fast your bolts move from where you shoot to the target. Stability was the thing that kept those bolts in line. That's the thing that made you actually be able to cross map people. But both play a role. When you shoot, you want to make sure your bolts get there fast enough that the target doesn't just outright move from your bolts. And two, you want there to be enough stability there to keep those bolts from spreading too much over large distances. So does Merciless benefit from this catalyst? Merciless is weird, guys. I don't know what to say about this weapon. I use fusion rifles, but I use things like main ingredients. I go between that and Telesto as my two most favorite PvP fusion rifles. They're a little quicker on the charge rates, so a little snappier. They do really good at close quarter engagements. Do I map people with those guns? Yes. And there's times that Telesto does some crazy stupid stuff when you map people with its crystals. And just like Merciless, Telesto also gets 5 shots when you pick up an ammo crate. Now, it's not to say that Merciless can't map people too. Obviously it can. It's just unreliable. There was times I would shoot and 4 to 5 bolts would hit right on target. And then I'll shoot again in the exact same spot, in the exact same area, and only 2 of the bolts would hit. So it was really bizarre. And I'm not saying that other fusion rifles can map at this distance, but they don't have the stability and range stat that Merciless is now boasting. And being a 900 charge time fusion rifle, I felt in a lot of 1v1 engagements, people had the opportunity to get out of the way, to strafe on me a little more, to move on me. So like most 900 charge time fusion rifles, they're a lot more unforgiving. But another bizarre thing, and I'm pretty sure this is just on Bungie's API, but something I noticed yesterday when in gunfights, I was like, man, it is really hard for me to stay on target with Merciless. And of course I'm using a controller, so if I was using, mouse and keyboard, it wouldn't be as difficult. But I did notice that. I was like, man, this is kind of tough. It's like people are able to move easily out of my crosshairs, and I just didn't feel the weapon stickiness that we feel on a lot of other guns. And I went and checked Destiny Item Manager because I was actually curious. What is the aim assist value on Merciless? Well, it doesn't even show an aim assist value. It doesn't show it on Bungie's site. It doesn't show it on Merciless charts. It doesn't show it on Destiny Item Manager, Destiny Tracker. Right now, Merciless looks like a gun with absolutely no aim assist. I have not found any sources on why this is. And the only reason why I was even checking it was not even for the sake of this video, but because I felt that the weapon itself lacked stickiness. I felt that the gun couldn't snag shots when other fusion rifles could easily snag them with the help of aim assist. So whether or not this gun actually doesn't have aim assist, or it's just a mistake on Bungie's API side, regardless, what I'm trying to tell you is if this gun doesn't have any aim assist, if that aim assist value is literally 0, I can honestly sit back and say, yeah, I believe it. So there's a lot of things that I've said in this video. What it really comes down to in the past 5 minutes talking is that Merciless is still a great weapon for PvE, especially when you have mods and different strikes that are promoting solar damage and power damage. It can eat bosses up. I was rocking things like Lunafaction boots as well to constantly keep shooting into enemies. But the catalyst itself just screams to me of being a PvP powerhouse. And believe me, it can get kills in PvP, but it's unforgiving being a 900 charge time fusion rifle. It lacks any weapon stickiness to the point that I can truly believe that it doesn't have any aim assist, which is a big deal for console players. And the catalyst itself just doesn't prove to be an overwhelming change for me in PvP. I just don't see it. Yes, the stat changes there are huge. It's phenomenal. It's something that makes you go, holy hell, that should be the most deadly fusion rifle in the game right now. But it just doesn't show. I'm sorry if I'm crapping on your weapon, guys. It's not that I don't like Merciless. I wish it could be more for me. I wish I can put my stamp of approval, especially given the fact that Merciless, everything about its catalyst is meant for PvP. I mean, it is specifically designed to be a better weapon in PvP. If it was going to be a PvE catalyst, it would have been something like, you know, extended mag or maybe glass half full. I know I'm throwing some D1 perks in there. I'm just saying that there are other options out there to make this a better PvE weapon. And the huge stat boost that we see with the catalyst right now is still not making it an optimal PvP choice. Not for me, at least. So guys, that is my thoughts on Merciless. I still enjoyed getting to play with it just to test it out. I was super curious about this exotic catalyst. Boys, I have a playlist of which I've reviewed a crap ton of weapons in the game. And recently, I've been going down the list of so many different exotic catalysts that you guys have been grinding for, I've been grinding for, and I'm going to continue to keep rolling out these catalyst videos because I think a lot of us need to see what weapons are thriving with these catalysts and which ones are not. This one on paper looked to be a weapon that would thrive with this catalyst, but it just doesn't reflect it. Guys, thank you so much for coming and watching this video, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.